Ready?
I'm ready.
You're ready, all right. So welcome again to Black Business Council Spotlight. I'm here with Petrina Thomas, and I would like to get to know you because we're spotlighting your business this week. The Black Business Council is a partnership with the Chamber of Commerce, and we really want to highlight the Black business in Marion County, Marion City per month. So we're super excited to talk to you today. My name is Johnny Jackson. By day, I work as diversity equity supervisor, and then in the evening, I have different side projects that I work on, and this happens to be one of the side projects. So I'm excited to talk to you a little bit about your business. Introduce to our crew out there, who is Petrina Thomas, and tell us a little bit about your business.
Okay. Well, I'm a native of Georgia. My name is Petrina Thomas. I have 3 kids. I'm a bachelor's degree graduate with a social work degree from Mount Vernon Nazarene University. I have about 10 years of experience in finance. Right now I work for Checksmart Corporate Office. I do small business loans. I've been in Marion for 18 years. All of my kids have graduated from Marion Hardy. I have a son that's there now. His name is Matthew Thomas Jr. He's a little hero out there at Harding.
Okay.
Well, he's famous out here. But, that's a little bit about me. I started my business during the pandemic. I did a class on credit repair because I was beyond bored. We were working from home and couldn't go anywhere. I'm like, okay, well, I could just find something to study because I had witnessed a lot of financial discrepancies with older people in Marion. Like they can't afford to get their medication because they are getting the loan and they didn't have any money for that type of stuff. So I'm thinking to myself, maybe if I could work out something to help them with the credit, they wouldn't have to be getting these payday loans. Sure. They take most of their money, they can use credit cards to pay a little bit every month. That was my train of thought to help the people around here that does payday loan. Because I work with that. I know that's a lot of money. Every 2 weeks or every month when you get paid, they take a lot of money from you when you pay it back. So, and I've always done taxes. I did family taxes, family and friends for like 7 or 8 years. I tried to give my kids a education on having credit right out of high school and keeping your credit going because they don't teach that in school. They don't teach them to keep their credit, about credit score, or how to get into a business or stuff like that. They don't teach them how to keep a checkbook. My son's like, what is a checkbook? Who writes checkbook? Right? And I'm like, boy. But those are things that you want to teach your kids as they're growing up, how to maintain their finances, keep their credit going, so they can be prosperous citizens.
Sure. So there's a lot there, and I'm going to unpack a couple of them. So I'm interested in, start off in social work. Well, let's back up. Georgia. What part of Georgia are you from?
I'm from Washington, Georgia. It's a small. They just got a McDonald's about.
Okay.
So it's a small town.
Okay.
Very 5,000 population, small town.
Wow, really small. Really small. So from Georgia, you move up here. You decide to study at Mount Vernon Nazarene.
I graduated from Marion Tech in 2011.
Okay.
With human services.
Human services.
And I went to Mount Vernon and got my bachelor's degree in social work.
Okay. So you've taken the route.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've taken the route.
I worked at a lot of agencies here. I worked for Turning Point. I worked for Red Cross, Salvation Army. I worked for MAC for 4 years.
Wow. Okay. So tell us the name of your business.
Sweet Pea Financial Services.
So Sweet Pea Financial Services.
LLC. I left the LLC off.
LLC.
And in business, they teach you don't have to put that. Well, I dibble and dabble. I network with. I have colleagues that do real estate. I have colleagues that do life insurance, but my specialties are credit repair and taxes. I know people that know people that know people. That graduated with people that know people. Sure.
And how long have you been doing Sweet Pea?
Well, I changed the name because I named it after my grandson. At first, it was Ace Financial Services.
Okay.
And the state of Ohio said, you can't have that name because somebody else has that name. So I had to change my name. And
sure.
Everybody in the community called me Sweet Pea. So I said, I just do it.
I got you. And I actually met you at the Juneteenth celebration because when I came outside, I was like, oh, I remember seeing you under the tent or under the, what is it called?
The little shed.
The little shed thing. You were talking all about your business. And I was like, oh, okay.
I was fresh at it then. I was kind of nervous because I had just learned a lot and I wanted to tell everybody about come get your credit fees. Just come get your credit fees. But it didn't work out that way. So it was like, okay, you got to come and you just can't throw it on them all at one time like that. They're not going to understand it the way you read into it. So,
it sounds like there's two pieces of this. One piece is the taxes and the other is the credit repair. Mm-hmm. Can we start with the taxes? Tell us why is coming to you, why is this so important for the Black community, but this the community in general?
Well, there's a lot of bits and pieces to taxes. Okay. A small business owner is a piece to that. You have to do like change it from a W-2 to a 1095. You have to do all types of tax breaks. They give you credits for this. If you're a single mother, you get a whole lot of extra tax breaks and credits. If you go to college, you get tax breaks, you get credits. So if you put all that together, you get like a big lump sum back. Some people just go in there, put the W-2 in, and they don't know about these credits over here that you get. I know about the credits because I have to take a class every year.
I got you.
We have to do a update every year when we get relicensed. So this year was a lot. If you didn't know what you were doing, you was gonna miss a whole lot of extra money from the IRS. Yeah.
And Matt, feel free to jump in anytime to ask follow-up questions.
You're doing a great job. Yeah.
So there's the taxes part, and then also the credit repair. Can you speak a little bit of why the credit repair portion of your business is so important?
Credit repair is a major part of everyone's life. If you can't go and get a loan, get a credit card, get a car, get a house for your family to live in, you just existed. Without good credit, you're just existing, basically. And I instilled it in my kids. Watch your credit. Watch what you spend. Watch how you spend. You can't spend everything. And with my son, oh boy. But he loves to work and he doesn't, like, people will go out and get credit cards and they max them out. You can't do that. You gotta never spend over 30% of your credit card. Always pay 4 days before the due date. I mean, people don't know this kind of stuff. And never mess your credit up. All them late payments, they go by late payments more than they do how you pay. Or the amount you pay. It's the late payments that kills you. That kills your credit.
You know, you're making me think of, we have a lot of like career tech jobs that are coming open. And I mean, in the future, some of these jobs are important, like being able to do people's taxes, being able to credit repair. So also thinking about younger people who want to get into the business of credit repair or taxes. What would you tell young people if they're interested in getting into your line of work?
Do your research.
Do the research.
Do the research.
You say more about that?
Know what you're talking about. Be able to explain how to get into these avenues of what needs to be done here, what needs to be done there, and how to help people fix it. Don't just go in and say, oh, I can send the letters off and get your credit fixed. You can't do that. You got to give them step-by-step instructions on what they need to do and how they need to do it. Say, for instance, if you come to me and you tell me, okay, I got a 525 credit score. How can you help me? Can you help me get my credit up in 30 days? I can't help you get your credit up in 30 days. But I'm going to tell you what you can do to get your credit up in 30 days and how you can keep it up and not let it get back to this point. Get this off your credit. You can pay this off. You can call your creditor and ask for a settlement on this. You can get another card, get the card. Don't get 15 credit cards at next month. No, please don't. Get one. Sure. With a good credit limit on it. Use that one 30%. Pay it on time. Don't max it out. and then put like your kids. If you have kids, always put your kids on your credit card. Have you ever heard of it? You can put your kids, they're 16, between 16 and 18. You can put them on your credit card as a credit or whatever card holder, and it builds their credit. Some kids come out of college, come out of high school with an 800 credit score.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah. Some people don't know that.
So what you're talking about, it also sounds almost like you're coaching someone. You know, you're actually laying it out for them, like, hey, I'm going to coach you through it, but these are some steps, and then I'm going to follow up with you, that type of thing.
I can do the paperwork for
Sure.
you, send it to the creditors. I can send it to TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. I can send all the letters you want me to send.
Sure.
But if you're not going to do what you need to do to keep it, the score, when I get it to this score, it's useless for me to do it.
Sure.
So you have to be educated on your credit to get where you want to be with it. Sure. Did that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. Okay. So again, tell our listeners the name of your business, then also where it's located.
Right now it's virtual.
Virtual.
Yeah. I can do everything over the phone, on my Zooms. I have my business card, I have a phone, I have a flyer, well, I have a card with my information on it. And you can come to my Facebook page. I have my business logos on my Facebook page, and I have a Facebook page for my, it's still under ACE. Yeah, it's still under ACE.
Oh, is there a Sweet Pea Facebook page?
Yes, but it's still under ACE. I put Sweet Pea under ACE on that page.
So if they were to search for Sweet Pea Financial Services, it would come up on
under ACE Financial Services.
And of course, we'll have this on the reporting in the description section, and with our emails that will go out to all of our Black Business Council representatives as well. Your contact information. But what was the phone number?
The phone number is on there. It's 740-692-6169. It's on my business card. Now here we go.
So we have 740-692-6169.
Correct.
So that's where you can reach out to Sweet Pea Financial Services, formerly known as ACE.
Formerly known as ACE Financial Services.
And the tagline is, let Sweet Pea Financial help you with all your financial needs, right?
Correct.
Okay. That's important. Like having a tagline, but also some of the people that you're working with to improve their credit or do their taxes. As you know, your clients become your best marketers.
Oh, yes, they do. And I've learned that this year, this tax season, it was phenomenal. I had people that I didn't even know from California. I had people from Delaware, the state of Delaware, contacted me to do their taxes because this person told them about how good I was for taxes. Yeah.
I guess that's the power of the word.
Yes, word of mouth is the best.
Yeah. So like, you know, you started your business during the pandemic. Can you talk a little bit about like how the pandemic either influenced your business? Because it sounds like you're still virtual, but how has the pandemic impacted your business?
It has in a good way and a bad way because I don't get to meet the people that I service. Some of them, most of the time we do a FaceTime. Like when I put the banking information in my software, I always tell them to call me and I turn my phone around to the screen so they can see me. Because you have to build that trust with your customer. Like, I'm not going to take your money or stuff like that. And hurtful, mostly is the meeting people. Because normally when you do taxes, you have a sit down and you give that person an hour of the time. You do the paperwork and you give it to them before they leave. If you don't contact them no more, they just do their contact with the IRS. Well, now it's, I do all the work with the IRS. I do everything, but I have to keep the paperwork. Or if they call me and ask me to mail it to them, I mail it to them. And I did advances this year, which was a blessing and sometimes a nightmare. But yes.
What are advances? Can you say a little bit?
It's okay. Say for instance, you call me the end of January. You have your W-2s and you want to do your put your taxes in. I can put your taxes in. I can give you a card that I have to send off and pay for with $6,000 amount. I got you. And it takes it out of your income tax. It takes it out of your refund when it comes back. And everybody and their mama wanted a refund. Well, they wanted an advance of this year, and I'm like, Okay. Here we go.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
and then if they don't get it, because they qualify $250 to the $6,000, and it goes back to your credit score. Because I partner with a bank, and they check your credit to see if you've done it before, if you didn't pay back, which goes back to credit repair.
So that's extended out your busy season to start even earlier than what you had maybe anticipated, like your busy season.
We started that January 24th, and I think it ended around the middle of March. No, middle of February. February the 15th, I think we ended the advances. They didn't offer them anymore because regular tax season had taken over.
Sure.
People had started getting refunds, so they didn't need the advances anymore. But normally people get the advances around November because it's like for Christmas.
Sure.
And we start like the end of November. They start doing those type of advances. They can get up to $500. But I didn't do that one this year. I just went straight to the big checks.
We talked about clients and how important that client relationship is. You also mentioned your partnership with the bank. Are there other partnerships in the community that you could talk a little bit about that you have?
I really didn't reach out to many people in the community this year. I tried to, I have flyers out. Like I have a flyer at the ice cream place.
The Tops, Popping and Rolling, Mega Move,
Mega Move.
Mega Move. I know them all.
I couldn't think of the name of it.
I knew one of them was gonna stick.
Yeah, Mega Move. I had a flyer at Mega Move. I had one at the barber shop. And I used to have one at Marion Tech, but somehow it got taken down. I haven't advertised much because I didn't want that bombardedness. I didn't want to be overwhelmed with a lot of work because I still had a job that I had deadlines to meet at my job. And they bought my company bought Liberty Tax Service.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they make me feel like I'm competing with them.
Okay, I got you.
So it was like, okay, sure. But they didn't really do anything with taxes. It was just sure. So I didn't feel bad after I found that part out. So I wouldn't compete with my own company.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're a Black-owned business. You're a woman's-owned business. Can you speak to the importance of being like a Black woman-owned business in Marion, in Ohio? You can speak to that importance.
It's very challenging, I must say. People don't trust people, especially when it comes to money. And you have to be adamant about whether you're gonna, how would I say it? Whether you're gonna indulge in the negativity or move forward.
Sure.
And I choose not to indulge. I move forward because I'm not gonna stop no show. There's gonna be a lot of customers. So I don't let negative, but that comes with age too.
Yeah.
Because back then I probably been like, what? But now it's like, have a blessed
let
day,
it go.
Yeah, have a blessed day. Come on, next customer. It's fine. And you get a lot of that around here.
Sure.
Because people feel like you gotta compete with them. And I'm not in the competing. It's when you go in the Kroger, you see 55 loaves of bread.
Right.
You pick the brand that you like, right? That's the way I feel about being in business with people. And people doing the same thing that I'm doing. If you like my service, that's fine. If you don't, it's fine. Because you're not gonna stop me from doing what I do. So you might like the next person.
Sure.
Yeah. And you have to have that mindset when you're business. But everybody's not gonna like you. Right. Some people have different tastes in everything. So
sounds like you also have to have a lot of confidence.
Yes. I'm very confident
in your work, right?
I did. But if you feel like I did something wrong, you come back to me, we sit down and we talk about it.
Sure.
And I'll go back over it word for word, letter for letter, number for number.
Right.
Especially when it comes to money. I know how people are about money. And I deal with money every day, all day. That's what I do from Sunday to Sunday. I deal with money. My company's money and my money. So it's a part of me.
Yeah.
Well,
no, go ahead.
And I think you're probably reading through the questions too.
A little bit.
Too. I don't know if this is in there, but with you having two, I guess, separate jobs, how is it compartmentalized when you're on the clock for that job and not thinking about, like, how do you in your mind say, this is the time for me, this is the time for the clients that I have, this is the time for that business that I'm currently in? Has that been difficult for you to separate, or are you learning things that you want to take into your personal job all the time? You're always trying to keep that mindset of how can I grow for my own business? And then what is the long-term, I guess, goal? Is it to, as this would be, is this always been like a side thing because you feel passionate about helping educate, or are you seeing this as a full-time?
I'm seeing this as an empire, and I want to have several facilities where you can go and do get your taxes done and get help. And then on the social work side, I want to incorporate this to help Black women who want to start a business to get on their feet. I talked to my pastor about it the other day. And I was like, I'll put that on my heart. I don't know where it's going, but I'm going to figure it out. And that's a part of me that, I mean, people, if you have an idea, you have to put it out there somewhere so somebody can visualize it with you. Sure. You can't just keep it, you're never going to prosper. You don't start, it won't be started for you. So if it's in your lap, you got to move forward with it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes. But like what you're saying, as far as like there's a credit repair, there's the taxes, there's the helping particular Black women and Black girls pursue entrepreneurship, but also it sounds like there's a piece around empowerment. Like you're trying to empower that next generation. Can you speak to that too?
You have to have that somebody that's willing to show you how they got where they are.
Yeah, that's right.
And I want to be that to somebody. I want to show them how I started and where I'm going. When I get there, I want to be able to come back and get you and say, these are the steps you got to take to get here, to get where you're going. Because it's a learning process.
Right.
If you're not teachable, you can't grow at all. I'm teachable.
Sure. Yeah. So we've had Sarita Lawrence, who has SpaceX with her husband and partner. We've had Josie Pittman, who owns Ooh La La. And so you're the third Black woman that we've had on here. And I like what you're, as far as like creating fourth. Who else did we have? Rashanta. Yeah, we also have Rashanta. Sorry, I'm about to watch you correctly. The fourth Black woman that we've had on here. And so I feel like there's a theme that we keep running into. Is like part of it is starting your own business, but also there's a part around mentoring people if they want to start their business. So like, what are those things what are the gems of wisdom that you would give to Black women and other women of color that they want to start a business? What are the things that they need to know about starting their business?
Unite with somebody. Find somebody that's on your level and want to do what you do, or that does what you want to do, and get that knowledge and those nuggets from them. You can't just go into something like, I'm going to do this. You have to know what you're doing. Back to the research. You have to be able to be taught, like I said. You can't just say, I'm going to do this and not know where you're going with it, and not know anything about it. You just can't jump into it like that. You got to find somebody that's been there and done that with you. That will show you how to do it. That makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. No, that makes perfect. That's why I was looking like, yeah, because, I think that if you don't have like the identity model, if you don't have like that mirror image where people can show you exactly what you can do, it's really hard for you to do it.
It is.
So I think it is important for you to be able to have you a cohort of Black girls and Black women that you can say like, hey, I'm hosting this workshop like here at this high school shop, I'm putting it out there in the universe. And I'm going to be able to teach them a little bit about how do you start your own business, maintain it, and then be able to do it the right way.
And franchise it, make it bigger.
Yeah.
Go further with it. My daughter, for instance, she went to school to do social work. She went to Wright State University, and she said, "Mom, I don't like being in school because I'm a country girl, so my kids are not like, they don't like a lot of people. They don't like not saying anything like that." So she came back and she went to dental school. So she does. She's a dental assistant now. So she had this bright idea. Miss YouTube, they watch a lot of YouTube.
Yeah.
And she said, "Mom, I'm gonna do body sculpting." She got a new idea. So now she's gonna do dental work, do dental assistance, save the money to buy the equipment to do the body sculpting.
Yeah.
The equipment is $15,000. So she's gonna get the equipment. She's gonna buy her building and put it in her backyard. She got her own house.
Yeah.
I said, stick with your plan. Set a goal. Check them off as you go.
Yeah.
Don't call me for anything.
Yeah.
Don't call me for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's working on it, and she tells me every day, "Mom, one step closer." But you gotta set a goal. You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta take the classes and the equipment come together. It's $15,000. She's gonna get her a building, put it in her backyard, so she don't have to pay rent over here. That's maintaining her finances. She put it in her backyard. She's gonna have her clients come in her base. She got like that, and she's gonna utilize what she has so she can get where she goes.
Yeah. So okay, I got more questions. Like this is. It sounds like even your daughter is using her day job to fund her dream job, similar to you, right?
Yes.
But there's also this way in which you understand education as a pursuit to somewhere where you're going.
You're gonna get somewhere with education.
And it reminds me of the proverb in the Black community: "Get your education because no one can take it from you." Can you speak to like why education has been so important for you? Because you told us your route through like, okay, go to NTC, go to Mount Vernon, but then also during the middle of a pandemic, I gotta go back to school because I'm bored. Right. Can you speak to a little bit about education being important?
Okay, when I was the first graduate in my generation, in my whole family from Georgia. My mom graduated from high school, and my aunt lived here. And she worked at the prison for 30 years. I'm like, I'm not working on the job for 30 years. I cannot do it. So when I came here, I had the mindset to go to the prison and work and fun be going to school. But before I moved here, I worked for DuPont. You ever heard of DuPont? I worked there for 11 years. That's where I worked when I was in Georgia. They closed down. They sold the company to Coke, KOCH. There was a Coke company from Japan. You ever heard of them? And they were devastated because all those people had been there 40, 50 years. They would not leave the job. And they went, and they couldn't find other work because they had been at that plant so long, all of their lives. They didn't know anything.
This is Washington County?
No, it's Washington, Georgia. Well, it was Athens. You ever heard of Athens?
Athens, Georgia?
DuPont was in Athens, Georgia. I got you. We commuted to work with them. And they couldn't find anything because they didn't have the skill. The only thing they knew how to do was make yarn. Because DuPont made yarn for girdles and bras and body bags and the little thread that's on there. I would make that thread. I would put it on a big pile of pine to roll up. And once they left it, they didn't know what to do.
Right.
So most of them, they died off or when they deal with their kids. And, I mean, we made good money back then. And they just didn't know what to do with it. So they couldn't. Some of them went back to school. Some of them went and worked at Walmart. But I just couldn't see that being me. And I put these many years on a company. You know what I mean? That was my mind frame. So when I came here, I'm like, I'm not going back into another factory or another place to work and not have a vision to where I'm going to end up when I get 25 years later. I'm not going to be, if this job closed down, I'm not going to have something else that I can fall back on. That's what my business comes in.
So I think Matt asked a question earlier about your pursuit of your business, and you mentioned that you foreseen this being like empire where you have multiple franchises.
Leaving my kids a legacy.
Can you talk a little bit about like that vision of where you see your company going?
I want to have many franchises around. People can say speak fees, financial services, and they know that they're gonna have. I want to be like what's the name of the company? Not H&R Block, because I don't like them. But one of the big tech services. Like you can franchise one of my business, one of my companies, and be all over the United States.
With that comes with the training and the licenses and the name and also the status. The kind of like, if you're building clientele, there's a certain type of name that's going to be to certain PIs.
This was the first year I've done over 100 tax returns. Yeah. I was so proud of myself. I was elated. Yeah. And it was during the pandemic.
Sure.
Yeah.
Without being able to make those one-on-one connections, like working primarily in word of mouth, like you said, 100 is,
Yeah.
And this is
I had to advertise.
How many years have you had the business again?
Well, I started a business in 2019. Well, 2020. 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. But before then, it was maybe 25 people a year. No,
That's huge.
Yeah. Mostly my family, but now it's everybody.
Even people out of state.
Yeah. California, there's a girl in my cousin in Dallas, well, not Dallas, but El Paso, Texas. The lady from Delaware, whose niece called her and told her about me. I'm like, I was excited. I was like, this is God. This is God.
Yeah.
But I had a wonderful tax season. So, ready to get back into my credit repair. I have friends that have just graduated from realtor school, and they were looking for clients. So if I help you build your credit, you can go get you a house.
Right.
So we networking with that. And he has a first-time home buyer program, which I posted that on my Facebook. He has a first-time buyer program. If you like a single mom and you need a boost with your credit score, he has a first-time buyer program that you can come in and he'll help you get a house with no closing costs.
Yeah.
Like they doing all kind of financial aid stuff. He was talking about it, like, wow.
Yeah. It sounds like that also just kind of ties right back into the social worker you said, and those wraparound services, like if you need, you want to get a house, but you need your credit repair. You need your credit repair, but you also need the education, like when you get into that house, like how to keep it, what are the tax breaks that you might get when you file your taxes?
You get a lot of tax breaks when you file a house.
So it sounds like you also are providing that type of wraparound service for new home buyers or just home buyers in general.
Yep. Yeah. I have a person that does it. I don't do that part.
Right.
And the life insurance, one of my friends, colleagues that graduated with me from Marion Tech, she's doing life insurance. And it's like, it's a whole avenue of things. Find the needs of the community and service it.
Yeah. You say that one more time?
Find the needs of the community and service it.
Service that. I like that. Find the needs of the community and
they
service
teach you that when you get your bachelor's degree.
I got you. Shift it to Matt. You got any questions that you like to ask?
I think you've answered a lot of them. Are there any questions that we haven't covered that were part of the spotlight?
That's all the questions. Actually, I have another question for you.
Sure.
So you talked about education, you talked about your business, you talked about your vision, you talked about all of those things. Can you talk a little bit about partnerships you want to have in the community? Like what are those, maybe some other businesses that you would love to partner with here?
Well, let me think. Dollar Family Services, because they do a lot of outreach for families. The churches, anywhere you can go and do, like in a room and sit up and have like a meeting with somebody, that type setting.
Marion Matters.
Yeah, Marion Matters. That's a lot.
Maybe even the universities.
Ohio State,
MTC,
yeah.
Marion City Schools.
Marion City Schools is great.
Yeah.
My kids are all they know me. They all know me. Like,
sure.
My kids try to use their like my mom is me. And they were looking at me like
looking at you sideways.
Yeah, I said I'm not me.
Right.
They all know me by
It's about your business.
yeah, I'm about them getting their education. Yeah. They over here acting a fool, call me. I'm telling you.
Right.
They didn't have to do that. They tried it one time. Never get my old
You had to check it, huh?
Yeah, I had to check on that. You know, don't over here acting crazy.
That's good to know. So job and family services, different churches, Marion Matters, universities, maybe the school system. I think that those are good partners. And
Turning Point also, because they have a lot of women and children there. And I wanted to help women with single mothers with kids. When I did my 6 weeks of training at Turning Point, we had to go to all agencies in social work. We had math, and we had to do classes for domestic violence. We had to do the whole circle of domestic violence, the male side and the female side. I don't like the male side, but I had to stay at Turning Point and help those ladies. I had to go to court appointments. That was tremendously hurtful on your heart, but you felt for those women and you wanted to help them, you know, just get off their on their feet and make something happen with their kids. Like you wanted that, but you wanted to be a part of it, and you never did want to see them hurt. That's the social work in me. So sure. I've always had that soft side for women and kids.
Yeah, people are struggling, women and kids.
Yeah.
What does it say in the Bible that what you do for the least of these, you do for me? That type of thing.
Yeah,
that's powerful.
That's in me.
Even I keep talking to you, I keep kind of getting more questions just because it's interesting. Again, going back to how you're connecting your social work, your education, and your business. I think, Matt, you asked a really good question earlier around like, do you ever think you have to compartmentalize between what you're doing at your day job and what you're doing for your entrepreneurship? And
I do that every day. I do that every day.
Yeah.
As to, I learn a lot my job. I learn a lot. I can't say too much that might fire me, but, but I do. Look, yeah, cut that part out. I learn a lot from the conglomerate because I have never seen a person have a 200% interest rate on. I handled a $300,000 loan. Man, can you imagine paying back $500,000 if you borrowed $200,000? Well, some of it like $750,000. And I'm in charge of that. I'm looking at these people like, how can you make a payment of $23,000 a month for 120 months? Can you calculate that? I handle those kind. So it's like, I need to do what you did to get here.
Yeah.
That's my mentality.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yes. Yeah, that is mine.
$29,000 a month payment.
Sure.
How can you afford it? Some people don't make that in a year.
Right. Work throughout their life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You making payments?
Yeah. Sure.
I got a check in my mailbox the other day for $69,000, $69,871.34. Wow. Yeah. Wow. He still owed me $9,000. But I wrote that off this morning. Yeah, I would go in with numbers, and I leave with numbers because I go home with numbers. So it's like, okay, that's what I do.
Again, at Black Business Council, we're here with Petrina Thomas, Sweet Peas Financial Services. I want to give you some parting words. What parting words of wisdom do you have for our community?
Come see me. If you have any kind of financial needs, come see me. I've done my research on whatever I tell you. I know what I'm talking about.
I love that.
Yeah.
So come check her out.
Come check me out.
That's awesome.